Bryan Danielson, he injured his orbital bone injury at first. Then his nose went numb. Now, the American Dragon set to compete in AEW Continental Classic, which was last night on AEW Dynamite. But what's interesting is I didn't know how serious the injury I got. They say he was trying to ignore what would be diagnosed as a broken orbital bone until he found his own nose go numb. Now, Danielson suffered an injury at the October 21st edition of AEW Collision. It was a great match during the match against Andrade El Diablo. He was written off TV for his next match during the October 25th episode of Dynamite. He will later undergo surgery, but according to ESPN, Mark, I can't pronounce his name. You guys can see it here. Danielson's wife, Bria Garcia, was asked about his injury about the fractured forearm Danielson suffered earlier this year. He's made of steel. I know it's crazy. It's just one of those things that is unfortunate for pro wrestlers. You know, our body ages, but mentally we don't. I think his body's like, I think it's time to hang up the boots. Then Bree discussed the husband's nonchalant attitude to his facial injury at first before he was diagnosed as a broken orbital bone. Her quote said, "He's so strong. I mean, nothing holds him back. Even when he's got two broken bones in his orbital bone, he was dealing with the pain like I'm fine until his nose went numb and everything else." That is interesting. I didn't know it got that bad. Now, you know, Bryan Danielson, he is in his 40s now. He's been putting on great matches in his AEW career since he's arrived at AEW. But he has been injured. He's been injured at Forbidden Door and then, of course, recently here on an episode of AEW Collision. But it says since then he's been cleared for in-ring competition. And the first name announced for AEW Continental Classic, even though he was banished up in that episode, that's neither here nor there. The round robin tournament kicked off this week's Dynamite with Jay White, Jon Moxley, and Swerve Strickland earning 3 points. Danielson is part of the Blue League and is yet to compete. The Blue League consists of Danielson, Andrade El Diablo, Eddie Kingston, Brody King, Claudio Castagnoli, and Dale Garcia. So that is what's going on with Bryan Danielson. Now I'll pull up another story in a second. Now we're going to talk about MJF. Be 2 things I want to discuss with MJF. Now MJF here, despite his great performance at AEW All Gear, retained his AEW World Title against Jay White. He was banged up, but he's not expected to miss TV time. It says here, retained the gold, and of course reached the 1-year mark as AEW World Champ. They said he is legitimately beat up, as sources indicated, that his hip had to be popped back after a bout. He hurt his hip on his elbow, dropped to the floor. Sources also stated MJF's shoulder was banged up due to the top rope Uranagi. Now, this is source of per wrestle purist. MJF is set to be featured in a non-wrestling capacity while heels leading up to AEW's World in December, brand new pay-per-view that they're going to have, first time ever that they will have this event. He is not expected to miss any TV time. So that is confirmed by also Fightful Sean Ross Sapp. Then there's another story I want to cover with MJF regarding this. And speaking of MJF, I will bring this up as well. Now, while MJF, he's still hurt and everything, he's still banged up and all that. Also going to mention here, source from Wrestle Talk, they said that he has signed a new deal with AEW ahead of his return of All Out. It's the final main event of All Out, which was back in October. MJF revealed that he had been a Joker who won the Casino ladder match earlier that night. first show you. Now it says here, speaking with Ariel Helwani of MMA Hour, MJF revealed that he had signed a new deal with the company, but stated it was for no additional time. Noting he is still set to become a free agent in January 2024, MJF has stated his deal was for more money. MJF often states that he has plans for promotions to fight for him in the bidding war for 2024. He discussing his upcoming free agency, quoted by MJF, "Whoever is going to offer me the most amount of money is where I'm going to go." That's interesting. So this was recently, and it says he signs a new deal, not a contract extension. So he still could be a free agent, but not extended. So do you guys think that MJF is going to leave AEW, or is he going